Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. It's now time for our second and final topic of discussion for today, and we're going to be shedding the light on President Fattah al-Sisi's latest remarks in which he directed to continue the development efforts of the Suez Canal Authority facilities and the waterways navigation course to reinforce its unique strategic status as an international trade lifeline. And to shed more light on this topic, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Raouf Jaffar, economic expert. A very good morning, Mr. Raouf, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to you, my dear. Have a nice day.
You too, Doctor. Sir, first of all, if you can tell us about the Suez Canal Economic Zone as an emerging international commercial hub and its significance.
It's a very ambitious project. Very intelligent in the same time, to make use of this very important and strategic waterway carrying almost 30 to 40% of the world trade, was very important to surround it with an area, an economic area with all the logistics, not only that serves the transiting ships, but also to be, as you rightly mentioned, a hub for all economy for the area. Not only the area, but for the whole, in my opinion, African continent. It's a very strategic position, and it can help a lot in promoting the overall economy of Africa by linking its economy to the three continents which are surrounding it, Europe, Asia, and Africa. And as I said, it was very intelligent to think about establishing this economic zone. And we have seen that so far it has been successful. A lot of countries showed expressed interest to be there, to establish industries, to establish silos, to establish storing facilities, logistic centers, etc., to serve this purpose. So yes, it is a very ambitious project, and I think once finished, will have a great impact on the economy of the region in general and of Africa in particular.
Mr. Raouf, in light of what you have just said, if you can tell us also more about the continuation of the development efforts of the Suez Canal Authority facilities and the waterways navigation course.
Absolutely. It was very important, as I said, since it helps 40% of the world economy going through. It was very important to, first of all, increase the tonnage of the ships. Now we have huge ships with very high tonnage passing by from one side, reduce the transit time and reducing the waiting time at the two ends of the Suez Canal, whether to the north or to the east or to the south, so that the ships go straight into the Suez Canal rather than wait for their turn. So it will reduce their passing time, hence we have a small impact on the overall price of the goods they are transporting, which in the situation and the circumstances we are facing and we have faced over the last years, it is very, very important to consider that. So efforts have been going very seriously into deepening the Suez Canal, into enlarging the Suez Canal, into doubling the Suez Canal, so it is a two-way passage and not one. And of course, this means that we are developing ourselves as far as dredgers are concerned, as far as towing vessels are concerned, and on top of that, we have to be ready for any emergency. We all remember the famous Ever Given ship that blocked the passage for a week and caused total panic to the world economy. We have to see that this incident is not repeated, and if, God forbid, it is repeated, then the blockage should be cleared in a record time, which happened last year, took a week. We hope that it takes hours and not a week in case it happens. So this means that we have to continue our efforts, as I said, to supply the waterway with all the new technology to enlarge it, to deepen it, and to avoid such mishaps.
Indeed. Also, Mr. Jaffar, also the importance of the economic aspect to that development.
As I said, it will have an impact on the tonnage, on the quantity of goods and merchandise transiting, which will reflect on the world economy. It will allow super tankers again to pass quickly, so it might have a reasonable impact on the overall price of oil. And as I said, we are living in very difficult circumstances. I mean, the whole world is, due to incidents happening here and there, and any reduction in prices, in costs, is something to be praised, and this is something the whole world is looking forward to. So Egypt has to play its strategic role serving the worldwide economy by trying to help reducing, as I said, the time of transit and the cost, overall cost, due to the quickness of passing through.
Indeed, Mr. Raouf, and also just to mitigate any emergency that you have kindly mentioned, it is, I believe it is also important to develop the canal's marine fleet, including tugs and dredgers, in order to mitigate any emergency that might occur.
Absolutely, absolutely. Given the fact that more and more ships are transiting, it means that the infrastructure has to be equipped and has to be made ready to sort of face any emergency that might occur. And this makes it imperative to increase the fleet, as you said, of dredgers and of tugboats and of salvaging and rescuing boats, just in case, God forbid, anything wrong happens. We are ready to deal with it in a record time. And that is the main idea, is that we transform this, at least to increase the performance of this very important waterway, and being indispensable for the world economy, we have to show that we are even offering more and more benefits to this world economy.
Indeed, Mr. Raouf Jaffar, economic expert. As always, we really appreciate your insight, and thank you so much for being with us on The Breakfast Show. And dear viewers, by this, we wrap up today's episode of The Breakfast Show. You were in the company of myself, Karim Gamaluddin, and my colleague, Dina Hussein. Until we meet again, this is goodbye.